for just a few more. And you see how it slipped right off? That's just one example of how it could slip right off.
Hello there and welcome back to Elite Healers Sports Massage in New York City with me, Adam Cardona. Today's lesson is how to use a massage gun for cooling down your feet and your legs. I'm going to take a few minutes, and in that time we'll show you some basic techniques to help you recover your legs. It's great for runners and people who walk or stand all day, and can be combined with the specific self-care series, so that way you know what stretches to do as well. This is the second of two videos teaching runners how to use a massage gun on their legs. That first one, what I talked about was how to use a massage gun to warm up your legs, and you could always go back and watch that one. And now today we're doing the cool down recovery portion. I'm gonna also go over which attachments to use, and that'll help you use the gun in a manner that's gonna be more supportive. And if you do that as well as maintain good posture, it should really compound its benefits. Like I say in multiple videos, whenever you stretch, you self-massage, or use the massage gun, you need to have good form, aka supportive body posture, so you don't create new muscular imbalances while trying to work out the old muscular imbalances. Now you'll watch, pay attention to my form on this one, and that's how you're going to learn, because I'm going to do the lesson either from a chair or a stool, and if I'm sitting down, it could also be on a massage table, but you can take that to a desk chair, a sofa, anything. What we'll be using for the lesson is a C2 mini massage gun. Now, that shouldn't be an issue, as most of the attachments that the C2 have are common with any decent massage gun. If you buy too cheap, you might not have everything. Now, if you want to know what massage gun to buy, or you just want the C2 Mini, you can do one of two things. To get the C2 Mini, go to the link in the description and you'll find the link, click there and you buy it. But you can also go to the playlist that'll show you all the different massage guns, and you'll be able to pick which one works best for you. And now, one other thing I want you to remember is I'm going to come out with other cool stuff for the channel going over massage guns, so give me a like right now. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything else that comes out. However, if you are ready to watch this video and to learn how to warm up your legs with a massage gun, I'm rolling the intro now, and we're going to get right to it.
Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to be taking that C2 mini massage gun, and we're going to be cooling down the legs. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to start with the quads and the hamstrings. And if you notice, unlike the warm-up, I am sitting down on this one. But there is one thing to note, and if you'll notice, I'll just switch, but I am sitting at the edge of my seat. So it's not that it's that exciting where I have to sit at the edge of my seat, but it's going to allow you the proper leverage so you're not overextending yourself and you're maintaining good form. So let's begin. You know the routine. Whenever you're using a massage gun and we're about to use it, and we're going to use it to cool down the quads and hamstrings, but anytime we're using it, we have to turn it on. Simple rule, don't forget it. Also, charge it before you use it, because you don't want it to, short on you as you're working on yourself. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to just clear a bit of area like that so there's no wrinkles in my pants, right? And we begin. And now this is just nice and slow. If you notice, I start from the high hip. Big difference here compared to the warm-up one is I'm just slowly going onto the area. So you could do an area for like a good 30 to 40 seconds. You get more of a relaxation, cooling effect. When you work the muscle short and brisk, it stimulates it, you're interacting with the nervous system, it gets it more prepped for work. But even though that same vibration upon short exposure will stimulate you, upon longer exposures, that same vibration is going to have an opposite effect on your nervous system and the muscles. It sedates and relaxes the muscle. So if you noticed, as I've been doing this, I barely moved my hand. I'm still in the upper region of my thigh. That's going to be one of the things that's going to be a difference about cool down. It's going to be longer. It's going to take your time. In terms of the attachments that I'm using the soft flathead piece, but you could use a firm flathead piece, or you could use the ball piece. Again, you want to think wide area of coverage to be more efficient. As time passes, I might find spots that are tight. Like, that's the reason I'm making this current face. I just hit a knot on my muscle. I just hold it there for the same amount of time that I would in any other particular area, and then I move along. And I do that same thing until I get to the whole muscle. I'm not going to do the whole muscle with you. In fact, I'm just going to do a section of the muscle because I want you to understand the concept more than, following along with me and getting every last second of detail in there. We finish with that. Now what we do, we don't have to change the piece. You can use your right or your left hand depending what's dominant. In this particular case, for my right hamstring, even though I'm right-handed, I'm going to be using my left hand. And then you lean in. If you notice, my back is straight, and I lean in, and I work the back of the hamstring. Again, I have a straight leg, and I go from the top of my hamstring, aka the edge of my seat, and I go slowly across the length of the muscle. I find a tight area, and I just hold, and I let the machine do its work, giving vibration for an extended amount of time, causing the muscle to relax. After doing a technique like this, especially if you suffer from tight hamstrings, it'd be great to just go and stretch your hamstrings right after, because you'll have relaxed muscles and the nerves, which means they're more receptive to getting that stretch effect. Then, after you've covered the whole area, you can either continue on into the lower leg, just change your pieces, or you do a stretch for those two areas, right? Alright, so now what we're going to be doing is using that C2 mini massage gun to cool down your lower leg. I'm going to start with the shin, and then I'm going to cool down my calf, and I will end with the foot. As usual, you want to get the max out of it, then you'll want to watch the specific self-care playlist on the lower leg and foot, so that way you get the most benefit from your training. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get started. Again, first step, turn the gun on. Get it to that setting that you like to have it at, and then we'll go into the leg. Again, protect the shin bone. I'm using the rounded attachment piece, and I'm going to just go into the shin. I'm going to find a tight area, and I'm just going to hold it there in place. I push into it, and that's why I have the hand here, because if the gun slips, if the gun rapidly slides to my inner part of my leg and it hits the bone in a certain way, I risk breaking the bone, which I don't want to do. And I hold and I breathe, and then I got to another tight spot. I hold there for just a few more, and you see how it slipped right off? That's just one example of how it could slip right off. Now what we'll do is I am going to switch into the flatter head piece, which is actually in my pocket, and I put it on. Here, catch. And now what we'll be doing is we're going to turn it back on, take it down into the lower leg, and start working the calf muscle. Again, the general rule, you find that tight spot, whether it's a knot and it feels like extra painful, or if it's just a tighter area, like in the muscle belly. I hold it there, good 30 seconds plus, and I let the muscle calm down from the vibration. And sometimes if you get into a knot, and let's say you push down on it, and then all of a sudden you're feeling like a sensation in the bottom of your foot or in a different area, that's a trigger point, which is just a really strong knot. But you take care of them just the same way as you would a knot. Then, once you're done with that, you switch into the foot. I like crossing my leg. So, cross the leg over, and you get it nice and comfortable, and you work that foot. You can hold in place, and you find those tight areas, and you just hold. This whole process will probably take you, if you're really doing it right, 10 to 15 minutes as a fair warning. You don't want to breeze through your cooldowns. You want to do it right, so that way you recover a lot faster. Then when you're done, you just take it off, you switch into the other side, and you repeat the technique, but on the other side of the leg. And that's how you use a massage gun, to cool down your legs.